Hello YouTubers, welcome to the TainoXtreme YouTube channel. In today's presentation I'm going to be making a review, my first ever review, on the Optimus TerraLite HE pot set. Let me start by saying that this pot set is very affordable. It cost my daughter $29.95 plus tax, around $30 at Gander. I found it in Amazon.com for $35, and I saw a review from this guy in the YouTube saying that he paid $35. I don't know where, I forget where what he mentioned, what store he mentioned, but you know how it is. You can get to the internet and find anything anywhere. Anyway, this is what you get when you open the box. What you see here is a pot set of 2 pieces of gear, and it comes in this mesh bag that has this spring-loaded locking, accessory here. The mesh bag fits kind of snug to it, making it stick together, keeping it from rattling for storage purposes. I'm going to strip it down now and show you what's inside. I'm going to take the mesh bag out of the scene. Okay, this is the pot set. It's got a frying pan on top and a pot under. I think that the frying pan services for double duty. One as a frying pan and the other duty as the lid of the pot. It is kind of a little bit too big for being a lid, but not really big that you can say no, it cannot be used as a lid. So yes, you can definitely use it as a lid. I'm not saying that the manufacturer intended for this to be a lid, but you could use it as a lid. Let me talk about the frying pan, which is what interested me the most of this pot set. Actually, the only thing that interested me was the frying pan, because I was looking for a frying pan that was that size, that big around, very light, and didn't have the non-stick material inside, and it was made out of this material. I'm going to talk about that a little later. It has this handle that you squeeze here and you pop it open. That is covered with silicone out here for the purpose of keeping your hand from getting burned from the heat produced by the stuff that you use. It has a corrugated surface inside, as you can see. I hope you can see it, you can tell. I don't know what the purpose of that is, but I can only imagine that they intended for these two services for the purpose of being like a griddle kind of thing. You fry anything you fry there, it looks like you were cooking it on the grill. Or the other possibility is that perhaps that helps distribute the heat evenly around, making your cooking time faster, meaning saving some fuel. I don't know what the purpose of the manufacturer was for that, but I was not looking forward for something like that. Actually, the first time I saw it, I didn't like it, and I kept looking for something else until, because of the price, I decided to get it anyway. Finally, my daughter, before I bought it, she bought it for me. She was very nice. Now, how much this weighs altogether, I'm going to talk about that later. Let me present you the pot first. See how that services for the purpose of being a lid, has that possibility. Okay, the pot has a pretty good size also, for my taste, for my like. It's pretty deep, see? And another thing that means is you can cook for at least 3 people here. It can eat out of this pot and get really satisfied. 4 people maybe, but for sure 3 people. The frying pan is a different story, but the pot can perhaps cook for 3 people at least. Alright, it has the measurements embossed inside, engraved, so that you can see, you can use it for the purpose of measuring your water or your rice or whatever you're going to cook in there. Perhaps mainly fluids. I don't use that, I will never use that, and 2 reasons. I will probably never use this pot for backpacking purposes, maybe for car camping purposes, but not for backpacking. and I am legally blind, so that has no use for me. Okay, it has these two handles that wrap around very nicely. It's very packable in that sense, and they are also covered with a coating of silicone for the same purpose I explained about the handle of the frying pan. It'll keep your hands from getting burned from the heat produced by the stove. Alright, and the bottom here, you can tell there's a round thing here. I call it a thing because I forgot the name of that. That services for the purpose of distributing the heat evenly around the pot, keeping it more hot longer, making your cooking time faster, and meaning savings in fuel. I don't necessarily think that's needed in a pot. Well, maybe because the fashion in which I cook is by using a, what do you call, windscreen around it, and also I put a lid on my pots. Well, in my pots, and that makes the cooking time faster, providing me with the feature of savings in the fuel. Alright, let's talk about how much this weighs. This weighs 1 entire pound. The way they advertise it in the box, the description says 16 ounces. When you talk ounces, the first thing that comes up to your mind is, oh, it's not so heavy because it says ounces only. Well, if you do the math, you know that every 16 ounces is 1 pound. So yes, this is pretty heavy for a pot set, for backpacking at least. I don't think they intended for this to be a backpacking per se kind of pot set, but if you can use it for backpacking purposes, if you distribute the load, I mean, you give somebody to carry your frying pan while you carry the pot, if you're going to cook in groups, or vice versa. I don't think I will ever do that, but I don't know, I might experiment with that, group cooking, one of these days. I don't know. Anyway, this is too heavy for me, so what I will do in order to make it lighter for me, like I said, I will probably bring only the frying pan. I will I'm not going to say get rid, because get rid sounds like I'm going to throw it in the trash can. No, I'm just going to remove the handle. Let me remove the handle. Bear with me a little bit here. I practice this. Okay, there it is. It comes out, see? And I'm going to be using, in case you're wondering what I'm going to use this handle, this one of these handles made out of aluminum, very light, solid. I guess Walmart has them, Dick's Sporting Goods has them, REI has them, Gander has them. You can find it pretty much everywhere you go where they sell, you know, backpacking or camping equipment. This is what I'm going to be using. I'm going to perhaps make it even lighter by drilling some holes in it. That's what I'm going to do with this. But this is the handle that I'm going to use, and I'm going to be able to use it with the pot also. Look. You see? So I don't really need those big handles that comes with this pot set. So by removing the handles and also removing that thing down here, the entire pot set perhaps can go down to 10 ounces. Yes, I will probably be able to save 6 ounces, you know, shave 6 ounces out of this pot set, and keeping also the mesh bag at home. Among all the equipment that I have for backpacking, pretty much every single item comes with a stuff sack, mesh bag, or any kind of bag, and I keep it at home, you know, to reduce weight on my backpack. So that's what I'm going to do. Do I recommend this? Yes, I recommend it. I think it's a very nice, very good pot set. Other than, you know, I give only 1 thumbs up though, and it's because of the weight. But that's fixable by doing what I just told you, removing the handles and removing that thing down here. How am I going to remove this? I don't know. I might use one of those rotary sanders to sand it off, because if I use a cutting tool, I will probably compromise the integrity of the pot, and it will probably leak, and I don't want that. Even though when I'm not planning on using the pot, I don't want to, just damage it just because. If I'm not going to use it, you're probably asking yourself why I'm going to remove it. It's because I will use it as an experiment at least once. And when I go backpacking with my wife, we always share our cooking gear, the tent, those two items. So yes, I'll probably use it when I go backpacking with her. Other than that, no, I don't need it, because I use another pot that is a lot lighter. I use a teapot from GSI. Now, why makes this very nice, very comfortable, brings lots of comfort, is the size of it. Look at it. I mean, when I'm going to cook, I also look for something that will not spill anything outside. Yes, I have spilled food out there when I used to cook with the those small mess kits sold at Walmart that comes with they bring a small frying pan, a small plate bowl on top, then a cup inside, and then a little pot inside. That frying pan, that entire set is useless in my opinion, because what I've just explained, every time you want to cook something, the only thing that I was able to cook comfortably there, sort of comfortably, was scrambled eggs. Other than that, I had to cook twice or spill a lot of food on the floor. And that's what this brings. This brings a lot of comfort. I think the perfect frying pan for backpacking purposes, it's got to be at least this size. This is not so big, and this is not so heavy. I don't know how much this weighs all by itself. Perhaps 3 ounces. I don't know, something like that. See? But that's what it brings. Comfort. Comfort, in my opinion, is the name of the game. I always bring some creatures of comfort that is not for ultralight backpackers, but I'm not an ultralight backpacker. I'm the kind of backpacker that likes to keep everything the lightest possible, but no, I'm not an ultralight backpacker. My backpack would have to be a lot less than 25 pounds. My backpack is always 28 pounds when I go backpacking with my wife, and that's because I have to bring the bigger tent and other extra things. When I go backpacking all by myself, it's always between 23 pounds and 25 pounds. I bring an it.I brand chair that weighs 1 pound. I bring a 3-inch thick cushion mat that weighs 3 pounds. And you're probably thinking that I'm crazy, but no, that brings a lot of comfort. When I go to bed at nighttime with that cushion, it's just, believe me, just like sleep in the same mattress that I have at home. I have a memory foam mattress at home. It is almost as comfortable as that. It provides lots of insulation from the cold floor and me, from the cold floor, and a lot of comfort. To me, ultralight backpacking sounds like very attractive, and that's what I was aiming to do. But I realize now that I will never do that, and it's because I'm not willing to sacrifice comfort in some areas, like in the cooking area and in the sleep system area. Alright? Well, the other thing is the material. This is made out of hard anodized aluminum. I don't know if you guys know this, but I learned this last year after using my other frying pan that has that non-stick material on top of it. Let me see, here it is. This is the Eddie Bauer, from the Eddie Bauer set. I made this lid made out of a tin can from a Kibler brand, soda crackers, but I don't use that anymore because of what I just explained you. The non-stick material there, Teflon, is very harmful for your health. It's very bad. It gets impregnated in your food microscopically, and that it's been proven that has the potential of producing cancer in your body. So does the aluminum. But hard anodized aluminum is very healthy. It doesn't get impregnated in your food like regular aluminum does. So I hope that gives you something to think about now. And if you want to change your, the way you cook by changing the material of your pots and pans for perhaps titanium, that's another material that is very safe, or hard anodized aluminum like this is. Well, I was looking for a frying pan only, and only that, but it came with a pot for $30. I mean, the only other closest thing that I could find out there was GSI brand, very similar, almost exactly the same size of this frying pan, that had the handles to wrap around just like the pot that I just showed you in this set, but it was $40. It was also made out of hard anodized aluminum, and the other name brand, I don't remember the name brand, but it was made out of aluminum. I mean, not aluminum, but made out of titanium. It was like maybe $60 only for a frying pan. Don't take me wrong, if I had the money and I was not in a budget, I would buy all those things regardless of how much they cost. But I'm not that kind of guy. I live in a budget, and every penny that I spend in backpacking gear or anything has to be done wisely. Well, yes, like I said, I highly recommend this Potset to anybody that is thinking and buying something that is healthy, that is sort of in the light side. If you're like me, you are into customizing your backpacking gear, yes, go ahead and buy it. Get rid of the sort of speak the handles, get rid of that bottom part of the pot. Let me show you right here. Get rid of that part, and yes, you have, perhaps I can shave 6 ounces out of this pot set by doing that. It'll perhaps go down to 10 ounces. That's my expectation. That's my goal, to make this a lot lighter. Well, I hope you like my presentation. I hope that you take it in consideration. I hope that I gave you something to think about before you buy this pot set. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm recommending it. I already cooked in the frying pan, which was the main thing that interested me in this pot set. I cooked a fillet of tuna using olive oil and some vegetables, garlic, onions, and I don't remember, and some spices. I don't remember what else, maybe some other vegetables like cabbage and carrots, and it did not stick on it. So yes, it was good. But on the other hand, I tried to fry egg whites. It was this morning, and it stuck all over the floor. But I was using, on the bottom of the, not on the floor, on the bottom of the surface of this frying pan. But I was using coconut oil as a difference, and my wife was telling me that never to use coconut oil for frying purposes, at least not in this, because her experience has been that every time that she used coconut oil to fry anything in our regular frying pans at home, everything got stuck on it. So it's just a recommendation, use olive oil, maybe peanut oil, and I don't know, there's also grapes, seeds, oil. I always use those oils because I'm on a healthy side. I am a vegetarian, and I always recommend the best there is for everybody else, since that's what I do. Okay, well, I hope that you liked it, and take it in consideration, give you something to think about. 1 thumbs up out of the box, 2 thumbs up after customizing it like the way I explained you. Alright, so until my next video, like I always say, I'll catch you later.